Hello everyone, this is Jersey Lee Z, you may call me Lee, and I'm back, baby. The internet is back and it's a Christmas miracle. Oh, we even, upgraded the internet a bit, so hopefully things will be a little bit smoother from now on. I mean, not that it wasn't smooth before, but you know, smoother even still. But I'm gonna try to limit the length of this one stream, just because I do want to do some Christmas Eve stuff. By the way, happy fucking, or Merry fucking Christmas Eve! For, you know, anyone that it's not already Christmas for. Oh man, it's been a week, hold on. Yeah, I was busy over the weekend. So it's nice to be back home, back to streaming, back to the fucking grind. Let's get with it, people. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are in the middle of investigating this guy's back room. And I'm pretty sure the room was turned, like, fully upside down. Like, what's up with this safe? Is this upside down? It's a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although, if you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. Dude, that entire safe? Nah, that's over, like, carrying capacity, unless you have, like, 1 billion strength. It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhanded, to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruhodo. Wait, it's bolted to the floor upside down? That's so whack. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important. Then let's, like, crack it open. I bet let's use this dynamite, you know? Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? It's dynamite. Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large watch to me, but... Ah! Oh, God. Miss Susato, what's the matter? Oh, I guess Miss Susato is more well-versed in explosives than I am. That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? Did you say? Oh, I forgot you were here. Detectives. Time bomb? What's that mean? Sorry, but... What is a time bomb, exactly? Eh? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I've never met anyone so stupid. That really hurts coming from you. I wouldn't take that. I won't take that as a compliment. Ha! You don't know nothing, do you, Otto? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thanks goodness. But, well, what is it? Probably a prop for a magic show. I have no idea. I see, so that's it. Goodness! Mr. Sholmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. Are you sure? I guess he doesn't flounder, he just kind of makes bold, incorrect statements, right? But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Yeah.
Oh, but how could you?
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. What?
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. And get it wrong so Mr. Naruhodo can correct you.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. What an insult. What an insult. That's a good face, Gregson. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
Is it fortitude or is it simply obliviousness? You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Miss Susato.
Oh, yes. I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Here we go. Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh boy. What is this song and dance? What bold claim is he making this time? Flipped furniture. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. Yeah. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling.
Oh, every item on the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity. What? No, 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 no. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. No, the room rotates. Well, actually, would it fall like that if the room rotated? I don't know. For the gravity in this room was reversed, then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
What?
I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susato. I too was incredulous at first. But wow, science! Amazing. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. It's so fucking funny that he was like he immediately clocked the teleportation machine as like bullshit. But he fully believes that anti-grav technology exists in the 1800s. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
What?
I mean, I guess it'll send you flying, right?
But then why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. What are you talking about? Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of that anti-gravity device. Sure. So you see, we need to look no further. We need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. God, he's so stupid. I love him. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely the scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. That's just a normal dream where you're falling, Sholmes. It's kind of how it works. Fucking gravity. Missing engineer. Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
I mean, it might be prop footprints, you know? He is a magician, after all. A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. I was thinking the room rotated, you know? The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is... What the fuck? By inverting the gravity in here... I'm sorry, did he do that at the snap of his finger? I know this is supposed to be, you know, I know this is supposed to be... theater of the mind shit, but I like to believe his power of theater kid simply inverted gravity for him at that moment. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. Yes, those footprints there and only there, for some reason.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
What if it wasn't sudden? Why am I entertaining this? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Sure. By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. Why is he so dumb? He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Yeah, just for funsies. I can't believe this man. He is so dumb. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. God, he's an idiot. Yeah. Big fucking same, Gregson. Gina's not paying attention. You know what? That's fair. She's got a very cute dog in her arms. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. What the fuck? I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. Well, that is... concerning. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. Okay. So what you're saying is that it's not possible. Susato's being a fangirl once again. Yeah. She's really like, hard dosing on that copium that he's still that magnificent detective that she reads about and not this blundering fucking idiot. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, such as Iris wrote in her books. However improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Of course she did. Yeah, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mrs. Ato lent me once.
Objection!
Oh, shit.
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, the spell's broken at last.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
That's semantics! Semantics, girl! Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. An argument is as circular as the coils of rope. She's trying so hard to believe that he's still a genius. I say still as if he ever was.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yeah, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular! Hold the fuck up! Hold your horses, Sholmes! Fucking gravity. God, he's so dumb. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. It's not just a little helping hand, it's an ad-lib on the details that are BS. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a pretty big, overturning, like, upheaval of his entire theory. So it's a little bit more than a helping hand. Hello, 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 Anthony. The bed, the table, and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Oh, I did this while reading it the first time too.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas Day. Yeah, happy almost Christmas, everyone. It's not Christmas, though. Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. But the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Nuh-uh.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling.
Girl, you can't overdose on copium that hard. We have to stay grounded in reality. We are chasing a potential killer. It's Larry Butts' testimony day. Hooray for Larry Butts and his stupid Santa costume.
Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Otto.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Safe. Oh, it's not upside down. Oh, look, Mrs. Otto. When everything seems to be upside down in here, this safe is conspicuously the right way up, have you noticed?
Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet.
Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. I'm thinking he doesn't want whatever's in there to, like, flip over, right? A lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there.
I certainly didn't say that. I did imply it, though, so good job reading between the lines.
Wait, is that it? Inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Oh, I guess... What here breaks the laws of Chomskian gravity theory? I mean, this doesn't really break the law. Chomskian is crazy, but, like, this doesn't really break the law, right? Since, like, presumably this is bolted to the floor, it would not invert gravity and therefore would just stay there. Right? It's the only other thing on the scene, though, so... Oh, no, upright base. I'm stupid. Give Susato a break. Her insight is blinded by the praise from her favorite book protagonist. She could faint at any moment. Yeah. She could faint at the sheer, you know, disparity between her favorite book protagonist and the unfortunate real deal. Never meet your heroes, kids. Well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Oh, look at that!
I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
No, stop being metaphorical. Look, it's right side up, dumbass. To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Yeah.
Take that!
Vase. Oh, what a cool-ass effect. Truly the Persona 5 of the Ace Attorney series. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself. By completely turning my argument on its head. I do this every single fucking investigation, Chums. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No, I'm trying to correct you because you're so fucking off-kilter. No one's trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Shams, trust me. You also have complete fucking control over all of the stage lights that just magically spawn? I don't understand you. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in this room is upside down, this unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Shams. His dreams. They've been crushed. This is truly the most tragic of books.
But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. You're still on this? Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? I don't know, to make it look weird? He's a fucking magician, who knows, man? Quite! And naturally, there is an explanation. It's the legendary blunts of time. Yes, the reason why everything in here is but something fucking anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Hi. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. 432582.
Oh yes, safe. 432582.
Safe? As in safe and secure? Dude. Dude.
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Admittedly, more likely. Oh, I guess this was written in English, even in the Japanese version, so he's like,
Well, there was a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So, you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
Maybe he just forgot sometimes, you know? It reads Leon! Nah, not 11037. Coal-burning heater. That's a coal-burning heater, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But it's not just for heating, you know. You can grill on it, bake in it, boil and steam things with it. It serves all sorts of purposes.
That seems like having your cake and eating it too. Not unlike a heated kotatsu table with an abe hot pot, a mikan orange, and a cat and an elderly relative. Yes, the scene is complete.
Oh, you mean it seems too much? I suppose perhaps it does. But you only realize some of the things... But you realize some of those things on your list are edible, don't you?
Anti-grav device, let's look at it. We've already established that gravity wasn't actually reversed in here, haven't we? In other words, this isn't an anti-gravity device at all.
Which makes me very curious to know what sort of device it is.
It's just a bomb.
But for now, I think it's clear that we're looking for an answer elsewhere.
Take that!
Safe. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. How did whoever raided here know that it was under there, though? Like, does he just forget shit all the time? And maybe he forgot which piece of furniture he put the safe number on? Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yeah, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it for people... For people of forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
Yeah, you could just put the ticket in the book. Well, why would you write it down? Why are you agreeing with Sholmes? And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't read English, even though I can speak it. I mean, that's pretty normal, honestly. When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it for people of forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they've noted things down. Get a fucking memo pad! And Naruhodo is secretly Glenn Alexander's sister too. Yeah.
Not if you always note things in the same place. Like a normal person.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside... Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but shut the fuck up! I believe I've proved my point now. My spotlight, which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Okay, but what are the chances he flipped everything else over before that? Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
Again, he is a magician, so it just might be a prop thing. You know, like the right anything agency has floating spaghetti fork, you know? So it might just be some magician shit. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yeah, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
That was 10 minutes ago, Besuzato. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. So fucking dumb. Balloon. The skylight explains why there are footprints where they shouldn't be. Listen, he needed to go to the skylight, so he just walked on the wall and then, I don't know, planted his shoes extremely firmly right next to the skylight before exiting, I guess. This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up.
Wow. Holy shit. Actually helium and not extremely explosive hydrogen? Holy shit. A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me?
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look.
Oh yeah, surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. What? Oh my god, there's a fucking shoe on here. What are you doing there, man? Hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look.
Oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. I guess to get those imprints. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear. It's beyond me, I'm afraid.
to give the impression that he, like, fled through the skylight? Shoe. Nearby shoe.
Take that!
Why's would he do that? Whymst would he do that? The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylights at all, but the balloon. I mean, I guess? Huh, but why though?
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. Ah. It was a piece of
green balloons. It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Master Gotz claimed he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. Huh. Was he trying to pop the balloon with a fucking shoe?
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is the model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But, the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. It's not a good projectile. Ah, what? Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with a shoe. There are so many— Dude. There's gotta be something sharper than a fucking shoe in here. The man's an engineer. I fucking refuse to believe that he thought he could pop a balloon with a fucking shoe. Actually, no. You know what? Sholmes is an engineer also, and he believes that he can, so... fucking who knows. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner to those lofty heights.
Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. That's the writers patting themselves on the back to bring it back to the fucking rope. Despite the full, like, changing of the course. Popping a balloon with a shoe isn't too far-fetched to be considered not possible. I don't know, man. Well, it would be one thing if that's, like, the only thing in this room, right? But, like, there's gotta be some other shit in here that would pop the balloon. Like, that would more effectively... Like, his kitchen's in here. Isn't there, like, a knife or something? So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? What? Oh, the crossbow.
Take that!
Crossbow. Is that the first time we've ever, like, presented evidence during a logic and deduction reasoning? To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. I refuse to believe that shoe is like his ace in the hole here. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Anokdreba has hidden inside that balloon? A corpse. Boom. Ow. Ah! What the? A waxwork? Oh, it's the head. Okay. It's the head of the fucking... Okay, cool. Why is it in a knight's helmet? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. God damn it. So we can't see the face inside, that means. How fucking convenient.
Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean? Oh, goodness!
I see you've joined the dots, Miss Usato. Excellent. Of course, I connected them long ago. Even before this logic and reasoning deduction, before we found the head. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yeah.
But why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it, sans tête, earlier today was none other than Anokdreba. This is incredible. Professor Harebrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Anokdreba's workshop. Wow. Can we peep inside at least? Can we, like, peep a little? Can we open that safe? Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. Oh, shit.
The architect?
You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Again, not that impossible, I'm gonna be real. He could literally just have put a rope up there prior and then, you know, escaped by climbing the rope, and then thrown the rope to the middle of the room. I don't know, man. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction... Oh my god, he's in the fucking wardrobe. Oh my fucking god. Anokdreba is right here somewhere in this room? So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yeah, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... Oh shit. The cupboard!
This looks to be a cupboard for cups and saucers and the like.
An ingenious hiding place.
Oh, is it?
Well, when you say cupboard, you automatically think of cups and saucers, don't you? And the clever engineer knows that, so he knows you never look for him there because he's not crockery.
Though, sadly, it does seem to be full of only crockery.
Damn. I can't believe it. Wardrobe. Safe. He's in the safe! He locked himself in there! Look at all that mess in front of the safe.
Yes, plans and accounting ledgers.
Almost as if somebody was in a hurry to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. Hey, that looks familiar. If you need to hide, there's no better place than a wardrobe. I stand firmly by that, even though my neck still hurts from sleeping in there.
Ah, yes. You had some experience of that yourself a year ago, didn't you?
We'll find him in there, mark my words. He'll be curled up in a ball, trembling and hungry. Oof. Or dead. He might be dead in there, I'm gonna be real. In fact, my own hand is trembling just thinking about making the discovery.
Never mind, Mr. Naruto. He could be hiding somewhere else, you know.
Take that!
Really? Alright, Mr. Drebber, come out! Not there, Mr. Naruto. But I don't understand. You could always climb inside yourself. God damn it. Please, don't mind us. Do go ahead. I know how fond you are of wardrobes. I'll think of something else. Thank you very much. That's crazy. I really thought they were implying that he also hid in the wardrobe. It was when we deduced why all the furniture in here was upside down, wasn't it? Gave us the answer, I'm sure. He's in the fucking safe? For real? It looks tiny.
Take that!
Really? Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in there. Guess Drebber's not homo, yeah. I mean, like, maybe he was never closeted in the first place. You never know. Maybe he's just proud about it. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Wait, what? Oh. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. I didn't remember that. I guess I did stop in the middle of, like, in the middle of a thing. Whoops. He was, in fact, searching for the combination to his safe. Can you open it from the inside, though? Fuck was he gonna do? And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber. He's at its very moment inside the safe. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. And largely aided by Mr. Naruto. What the fuck? I really... What the fuck did they mean by, like, oh, just think about our journey so far? I thought that was implying he'd be in the wardrobe. God damn it. So, Mr. Naruto. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide-and-seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 1...
432582.
I knew that. Alright then, here goes. Sorry, 4 what? Oh, hi. Holy shit. You found me. What the fuck? Oh, he's weird. Oh, he's weird. I kinda like him. Holy shit! My god. He's kinda busting some schmoves. Oh, shit! Oh my god. It's kinda sick. What the fuck? Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. He's too fancy kind of sketch. Oh, for sure, but also he was kind of fucking schmooving it. Also, that is a sick-ass fucking robot hand. Oh my god.
Correct.
You'd better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel's as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Oh shit, he's cool. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. It's like he's an actual robot. What is this sorcery? Deactivate. Connect him to a car battery. He has a positive and negative metal connection to his jacket. Yes, he needs to be charged.
Your parcel.
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
Ah!
Ha, ha, ha. I see. Stunned silence. Oh, that is a devious smile. You're all gearing up to die with me then.
No! Mr. Shums, with only 7 seconds to spare.
Oh, we just fucking skipped over it? I thought we would have a mini-game! Fuck! That was too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer? Get us killed!
Mr. Shums' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Yeah, he was so fucking convinced that it was not a time bomb. This man really thought that the like fucking 6 sticks of dynamite, 7 sticks of dynamite were a fucking like gravity altering machine before he thought it was a bomb. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. God, he's fucking cool! Fuck, I know he's like not a good person, but he's so fucking cool. Still can't believe we were nearly blown up. What was that sideways glance in aid of, Mr. Naruhodo? I thought that deducing meaning from the movement of people's eyes was your specialty, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind that now. Let's see what Mr. Drebber has to say for himself.
Hold on, I'm looking in his room. Okay, I guess there's nothing else. That balloon's gone. Did we just, like, dispose of it? Mr. Drebber, look at this, please. I just want to know, like, how do you make it look so sick? That's a great animation. Do you, have anything to say about it? Oh my god, I love the very slight... The slight, like, delay with the head. It's so on point for the people that do, like, those really, like, robotic dances. That's so fucking cool. Are these strange mechanical movements supposed to be some sort of answer? Are we sure he's not fully just a robot? What about the science trophy? Anything to say about that? No. I guess he doesn't have anything to say. He's just another bomb! My god, it's all bombs! These aren't pies, they're bombs! From the bomb factory! What happened here? What on earth happened in here?
You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Least aggressive cat activities. He's just a big robotic cat, you know?
Yeah, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Drebber.
Drebber sounds like a fucking slur, honestly.
What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh,
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. I whistle while I work. Christ. No words. Just tightly squeezed chips that never run out.
clearly I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down.
A classic fucking robot with like 4 gigabytes of memory. We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. No comment. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. So, you know, pigs are gonna fry, and I'm not gonna die because that safe is blast-proof. I made sure of it.
Got a death wish, have ya? On right beside a ticking time bomb.
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
He just has one shoe on because of how he tried to get the balloon down. Oh, for sure. For sure. So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place. You know, Naruhodo was right. Ryunosuke was right. It did mean safe, as in safe and secure.
Precisely. But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
Ah, so it is. Huh. What a weird fucking design. Oh.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
Yeah. No. That was unforeseen.
What do you mean? Why is he cool?
Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
Yeah, we might have been fooled into thinking it was an anti-gravity device.
I mean, it would, if but for a second, make you fly. It is very powerful. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in there threw a spanner in the works.
The nastiest fucking glare. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? Yeah, you've got some fucking stupid on your face! God, I hate you! I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently?
Hey, I just take commissions. I get paid. That's all.
Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. Hold on. Fuck, I wish I could see their fucking, like... I wish I could see their brooch. Like, cause Girly Pop had, like, a plus sign. Like this guy does. On her shoulder. So, like... I mean, they're, like, similarly aged. They could have been a thing. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor.
35 and broken. Don't sniff gasoline, kids. No, this man inhales gasoline. She has a child. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think it's plausible that the kid is hers and this guy's, just because of the hair color and also the little plus. Like, cause she had a plus on her lapel, right?
Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all,
that's enough. Hot bitches here.
What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well... Dr. Sith again. So the forensic investigation team are here. Son of a fucking bitch.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him?
What is that in your pocket? You've got something fucking bulging in your pocket. Oh no, that's not your pocket, that's just a fucking lamp. Jesus.
If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Sith?
Hello, Sholmes.
Huh. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Sith? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. You
get out.
But of course. We'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. I fear for your daughter's mental health. Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes... Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out. Now. All of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. I need to stage the scene.
Understood. Fucking stupid forensics bullshit. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place. The whole workshop would have been blown to bits.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was planning on. Fucking dipshit.
There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector. I don't give a shit. I was going to fake his death.
Something giving you a chuckle as a drabber.
So sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you... That one? You mean... Oh, fuck. We're so dead, bro. God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Well, rip to those random NPC guards. They're fucking dead as hell. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. And, you know, 2 guards died, but who gives a shit? To be continued! I do need to make this a short stream, but I want to continue. I'll do a little bit. I'll do a little bit of the trial? Or I don't know if it's more investigation. It's trial, okay. Let's start the trial. And maybe I'll do like 1 witness. I don't know, man. 24th of October. It's almost Halloweeny! Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings?
I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows!
The scientist versus the cooler scientist. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here.
Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Even though I've missed, like, most of your trials, I'm gonna be real.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll, see you later, then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject.
Sholmes, shut up. Dude, you can't always have the spotlight. We finished the investigation. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter?
Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not, to be cast in my direction? Praise me!
Sorry? I don't follow.
Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now. First thing in the morning, a miracle, you must agree. It's an almost Christmas miracle.
Well, if I must agree, then, I guess I do.
As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. Gamuts? She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. She also kicked me in the groin, and her shoes are quite sharp. And she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Jesus Christ.
Oh my. Iris has been busy.
Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. Oh, I think you guys would be friends. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. She woke you up, dude. You didn't even wake up on your own. Sorry to cut in. Huh? Oh, sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour? Well, I'm here to support you because I fucking hated forensics. Goddamn, fuck them. Oh, I don't know, maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh? Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? What? I don't know! Poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? For what? I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. He has good hunches, it's just that his deductions are awful, you know? You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murderers?
Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy?
He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here.
Let me read that shit. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Let me read it right now. Condemned prisoner, redacted for confidentiality, pseudonym the Professor. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 17th of June. Courtney Stevens. Stevens, huh? What do you mean by that? Stevens isn't a name that we know yet, right? I have a feeling that's not his real name. I'm thinking, okay. I'm thinking, here's my theory. That's not his real name, because he is a fucking trickster. Like, magician type bitch. His name was probably something Stevens, right? They were a thing. They had a kid. That weird-ass fucking, probably psychopath kid. And then they split up at some point. And now her name is Sith. Or it's the opposite, and they had a kid and they're together, they're just hiding it. Kinda shit. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Now, I am the one who requested it, so please, Mr. Naruhodo, praise me.
Us lowly lot of the yard are just doing what we can. In the shadow of the great Detective Sholmes, of course.
Oh, well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're gonna lay all this to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor.
He is so sad. Cause, like, his machine, dead. His dreams, dead. His grant, gone. He has literally nothing left. Child's name is different from both Sith and Drebber. Is it Stevens? I wonder. Like, we never learned her name, so... Maria Gori? Interesting. I mean, I guess I'll learn that later, right?
I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Dweber.
Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness.
I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day.
Thank God for Toby.
I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant! The trial's about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before, actually. This strange foreboding. As if something's gonna happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Oh, God. What the fuck do you mean? What's gonna happen in this trial? Another explosion? We've seen it already, Dual Destinies. Oh, hi, not Kazuma. Hi. Mwah. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Hairbrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? Oh my god, hi. Oh my god, Kazuma, hi. Mwah. The prosecution is ready, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. I might be a little distracted during this trial, though, my lord. I'm gonna be real. I'm a little busy. Thank God he's got a mask on, but holy shit. As promised, Lord Van Zieks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice was with memory loss. If I may, Lord Van Zieks. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing at your side. Yeah, you know what? Fucking... Like, why doesn't the prosecution ever have, like, an assistant, like, counsel, you know? Ah, yes. My apprentice and assistant. He's going to catch the bottles of wine. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Like, Van Zieks is gonna throw his bottle, and then Kazuma, not Kazuma, is going to, like, catch them so he doesn't destroy, like, 7,000 of them during the trial. Or maybe he'll make it worse, I don't know. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. Oh my god! I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. Oh my god! And the smooth running of liquid refreshments, by the look of it. Well, that was a Japanese ass fucking, like, sword unsheathing, by the way. Like, Kazuma may, like, if it's genuine, may have amnesia, but the body remembers.
The way he holds himself, the way he moves. It couldn't be anyone else.
God, if he dies, I'm gonna fucking cry. If we see him actually die, I'm gonna cry. But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment.
I know, but... this is so very hard.
It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand that you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Yeah, you wouldn't have that witness if I didn't fucking show up, bitch.
Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed?
Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing.
To take a man's life with a conjuring trick. It is against the magician's code, not to mention the law.
Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and then settle on one. I say it, innit?
It's so fast. How the fuck?
It wasn't like this in my day. It wasn't like this at all. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks.
Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Wow, such a good assistant you are, Kazuma. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case. The super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons.
It was what?
An explosion!
This is an outrage!
Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers.
Not smithereens, just smithers?
And the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames.
It was metal. What do you mean ashes? I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion. Am I just, like, is this picture just to show off that it opens underneath?
Yes, a terrible business.
He did it to destroy the evidence, did he?
That an October. The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
Post-explosion. Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very difficult trial. Shit. Fuck me. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity.
Indeed. Most unfortunate state of affairs.
I mean, can we not just look at the fact that there's a trap door in it and figure out, oh, it's a hoax? Like, come on. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that, we can be certain. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine, and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection!
Nuh-uh! As Lord Van Zieks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Asmund died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. Yeah, investor and the engineer, yeah? Mr. Robot. Mr. Roboto. Names, Council, if you please. The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Asman. Still not convinced he's actually dead, by the way. I think forensics is just lying. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Like, I'm going to doubt every single corpse I find in this game from here on out because of the fucking wax model shit, you know? Like... thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zeek, summon your first witness, please. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. Hey. You and your fucking robot hand. Why are you cool? Why are you cool? State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say. Like, why does... How much of his body is mechanical, is my question.
See that black monocle?
Yeah, why do I feel as though I've seen it somewhere before?
Oh, you too had the same feeling myself.
Hmm. Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But... But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Cleave it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiments carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. I like how he says the full thing. Like, every single time. Like, he's very, you know, respectful of his friend's work. Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. Do I have... No, I do not. Ba ba bum 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 bum. Ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum 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 bum. Ba ba bum 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 bum. What did this say again? Metal plaque, burgeoning talent of future scientific discovery. Oh, Courtney Stevens. Is there nothing to look at on this thing? Like, no flavor text saying this thing's spooky as shit? Oh, here. This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you. What a terrible way to treat someone. Even a convicted criminal. I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually. Mr. Naruto, please. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger. Oh, right. Sorry. got a hook on it. Ah, who could it be? Someone fucking unlock this. Gina! Gina, do your fucking lockpick thing, please! Broken glass. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 17th of June. Courtney Stevens. Oh my god, wait. If my theory is right and she is reporting she's reporting that what's his face? That Odie Asman is dead when he's actually not. If that's true, then I'm convinced that this is also the case. I think they put someone else up there to get hanged, and the professor's still alive somewhere. Was it a public execution, or... I don't know. I know. But who could it be? Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Bruh. Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
Bitch! Dumb ass. But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
You've established nothing of the sort. It fucking blew up. Let me believe, okay? Let me believe that my friend wasn't a total fucking idiot. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of staged trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more. But... we've procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give me your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition. Understood. You know, it's a shame that, like, I'm pretty sure he's not the final killer. I'm pretty sure it's Courtney, right? But, like, this guy, I feel like would have a spectacular breakdown. Maybe he'll still get one. Maybe they're in cahoots. Maybe they're married and they're in cahoots. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago, through Mr. Asman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads, and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. Okay, but even if it's flawed, that's an accident and not, you know, wholesale murder. A body double? Wax works. That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has moved when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original
with a fake at some point in the performance.
Why is he so cool, though? God damn it.
But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines?
Ugh. Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Asman has no twin siblings. At least on record, you know? Like, God knows, paperwork in the 1900s was not digitized or anything.
It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine.
Whatever do you mean? Look at my sick-ass hand and monocle.
Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber.
Indeed it did, my lord. This guy's lying. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how.
Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field.
Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there.
Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves.
Is it, like, actually specifically, like, named out to him?
If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by the misuse of the science?
I feel like you would have to know, though, right? Like, if you're putting it together, you would have to fucking know, right? Yes. Like, I just want... I want a full fucking bomb in my machine. Like, but I don't want the engineer to know, right? Like, what?
Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Okay, I will BRB. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I'll do this testimony, maybe one more, and then I might end it there because I have some Christmas Eve stuff to attend to with the fam. So I'll see you then. I'm back. Okay. Met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Asmund's introduction. Tell me about it.
Hold it!
So you were already acquainted with Mr. Asmund himself. You're in cahoots, even.
Not really. By chance, I'd seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. I'm just in it for the checks, baby. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for.
So why'd Mr. Asmund approach you in particular, then?
Who can say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering.
Not to mention excellence in fraud.
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of a secondary thing. Hard to gauge. But the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprints I was given.
In other words, the kinesis machine was built on solid scientific principles.
Yes, you might say that. Professor Harebrained certainly has a mind like no other.
Provide me with the blueprints and I would construct the machine to his precise specifications. No
Hold
trick.
it!
No trick for real, for real. It's clear that you both, that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic, however.
The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. But your implication is that I furnished the machine with some trickery, I think.
It's a possibility that we have to explore.
Unfortunately, though, the machine has been blown to Kingdom Come. So there's really nothing left to explore, is there?
I wonder, whose fucking fault is that, dickhead? Also, was it straight up just, like, sticks of dynamite in the fucking machine? That's kind of crazy, bro. Also, how did the second bomb not go off with the first bomb? It appears that the kinesis machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind.
And there's nothing left of that device either. Not a single shred of evidence remaining, I hear.
He must have planned all this from the outset. This son of a bitch.
But in any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick.
X to doubt, brother.
Hold it!
Of course, that's it! Mr. Asmund was a twin!
Objection!
No, did you fucking pay attention? Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Asmund had no twin siblings. No, I heard you before, but the thread of hope hadn't quite left me.
The demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim.
Is he? He might be. Is he the professor? Odie Asmund? I don't know. I feel like it's... They've built up to this professor, like, for so long. It can't have just been this random schmuck investor, right?
But Dr. Sith absolutely ruled that out as a possibility.
It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Asmund, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to that fact.
So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Asmund then. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, no, nothing. It's just that, you know, just the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind. Oh, this
All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower.
Hold it!
Yo. He crashed head first, you say?
According to the many witness reports from those there at the time, yes.
Were you not there at the exhibition grounds that day?
Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop.
X to fucking doubt. You fired that crossbow. Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that one, but I wasn't the one who shot it. Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I'd labored over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower.
Sorry, did you just switch up your fucking testimony mid-testimony? What a surprise.
I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it?
How would you have come by that information?
Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know.
Oh.
According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body.
Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced hard, inflicted by a sharp implement. 2 injuries being the stabbing and the vertebra snapping, or... Yes, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant. And he had a broken vertebra as a result of a fall from a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. Sorry, research. Do we know which injury was the fatal one? Sadly not. We don't have that kind of technology yet. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. You know, just in case anyone wanted to, you know, call us out for that. It's literally early 1900s. Give us a fucking break. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken.
It's obvious that he fell from a considerable height.
Suppose that's hard to deny.
A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow.
Hold it!
So you understood the science, did you?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right. What?
As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's kind of bullshit. I feel like an engineer kind of has to know what the fuck they're building. You know? Like, if they're just following blueprints, then they're nothing more than... Like, if it's just following blueprints... Fuck, I could do that. I don't know, man.
I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example.
But how's it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on?
Well, you're practicing law without really understanding the principles it relies on, aren't you?
That's not true. I studied for, like, 6 months. Very good point.
Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruto.
The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound. Ah.
Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving our hypothesis.
Certainly very sure of himself.
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, now that the machine's been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's gonna be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or the other.
But if we're unable to establish that it was a piece of stage trickery rather than genuine science, we'll have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Harebrain's innocence.
Both Mr. Asman and his men in the stand tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivete and his unbending belief in his work, and I won't let them get away with it. And seeing as the professor is an old friend of Lord Van Zeek's, what on earth must he be feeling towards Trevor? I'm going to fucking kill this man, personally. It was no trick. I'm thinking it's this. But let's like do a cheeky little save here though. I'm thinking here is the... It's gotta be the picture of this.
Objection!
No? No? Surely something about that last statement seems odd. Surely, right? Surely?
Guess not.
Photograph of the balloon, photograph of Trevor. What about, like, did he have a twin? What about a waxwork?
Objection!
Fuck. It's a little too early for that, huh? The defense has an objection! And the objection is, objectionable. Oh. It's not head first. Because the damage is done to the feet side.
Objection!
Yep, there we go. We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely. Yeah, I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. It ate the head, loser. It fucking flipped mid-plan, idiot. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top.
What are you saying?
Oh my god, the robot is sweating.
That's the opposite of where they should be.
That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two bird cages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Huh. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Oh, I was not expecting two bird cages. Okay. Why was half of that red? What? Good gracious, explain yourself, witness. Oh, sorry, it should be well... If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower.
Objection!
Oh shit. But multiple witness reports claimed it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion, at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level.
Which is approximately 18 meters.
I don't speak. What the fuck is a kilometer? Hold on. I want to look at the test autopsy. It doesn't say specifically like an impact like head first.
Which is approximately 18 meters.
It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration. What? What now? The deflahoozy what's it? What? Deflagration? Deflagration? Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection!
Yeah, like all of them though? But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection!
He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebra, actually. What? It wasn't quite for long. I like the fucking TikTok. The TikTok in this song. It's real bouncy. Anyways.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zieks. The witness is clearly a swindler, and one who deceived a personal friend of his.
I don't know, maybe he's just doing his job, getting that check. If you're going to establish this deception, do it right.
Sorry?
I feel like that's the undertone here. Yes, and there's one more point the defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me that the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Treble, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth. Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically after all. Nearly had him there. Fuck is this about? What? The kinesis clearly took place because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. The fucking balloon?
Hold it!
What do you mean? Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience. Yeah, there are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Asman on the experimentation stage, that's true. And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere. The balloon, bro. The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. Okay. So, the balloon, right? That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance the birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance if it didn't drop out of the sky. Ergo. The victim himself must have been beamed from the stage into the sky above the crystal tower. How high is the experimentation stage? Yeah. I'm feeling it. Are you feeling what I'm putting down? Like, let's see. 1, 2. And then like 1, 2. Yeah, it's like kind of the same height, right? This, because this is where the body was found. This is where the balloon like dropped him, I guess. And he went phew. And then, but like plausibly, he could also have gone phew down here, right? The victim himself must have been beamed from the stage into the sky above the crystal tower. A trenchant scientific analysis, is it? Is it, sir? Dear me, every time I hear it explains, it sounds increasingly plausible. Stop falling for it, sir. My lord, please. Oh, yes. It's all very well thought out. Certainly all the spectators on the day saw it. The birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean. Irritatingly, yes. Fuck. A terrible accident. Let's do a cheeky little scene. Because I think I have to present the stage. Or at least the diagram with the stage.
Objection!
Yeah! Ha 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 ha! This is a diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the crystal tower. Bonk. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. With, like, feet down, too. The same distance of 30 feet. No. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Yes, my lord. Of course. So he is dead, I guess? You'll indicate the place to which you are referring on the same diagram. The alternative location from which the birdcage could have possibly fallen the requisite 30 feet. The machine, baby.
Take that!
If it had fallen from here, the birdcage would have plummeted the same 30-foot distance.
Objection!
What? If that's my learned friend's claim, I suggest he demonstrates for the court, personally. Huh? What? And you may consider this a parting gift, counsel. What? I feel like I just hit the deck from 30 feet up anyway now. Did I just misplace it? Don't give me recourse to make the next fall from 60 feet up, Ah. do I put it here? Because I'm like 90% sure it's here.
Take that!
Fuck me. Really? Is it like... The hitbox should have been the entire machine. I'm mad. I'm mad. The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Go on, Counsel. It turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it's about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. Now, when the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. Bonk. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Kuso! Nande! Nani? Once again, my lord. This all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two!
Objection!
I love birds. My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Yeah, you literally submitted it! What? You're stupid! Someone's responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion. Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone! Yeah, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Bro really thought he could get away with it. Mr. Drebber. It was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Error. Whether Professor Harebrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference. Because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Asmon's life. And lay the blame firmly at the professor's door. Something they could only have been, Something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. What's his motive, though? Like, okay, let's go with the train of logic that the killer, like, the professor is Odie Asmon, right? Like, did he personally, I don't remember. I saw the picture, but I don't remember. Yeah, there's fucking Trevor, but... Is this gonna be, like, relevant? It's gotta be, because she's got the plus. Okay, so the crystal tower glass was in the professor waxwork, which means that that waxwork was at the crystal tower. What broke the crystal tower is the question. Oh, I guess the second birdcage coming from the balloon, right. If you've seen Case Closed, the person in the photograph looks like, Jin from, oh, yeah, he does! Holy shit. Just, like, hold on, does he have a hat? I don't think it's the right hat. Yeah, it's not the same hat, but, like, yeah, he really fucking does. Maybe make the chin a little bit sharper to get that, like, super 90s, is it 90s or is it 80s? That super fucking old anime, guy, evil guy look. Man, I need to watch more Conan. I've watched, like, a considerable amount of it, but, it's such a task. Oh my god. Yeah. Why does he look like one of those cactus things from Final Fantasy? He's a fucking extra. Do not use Kazuma's abilities for this, Van Zeeks, man. If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions. Really? You literally just poured that. The prosecution would like to crush the defense's arguments slowly but surely. What? Your argument fails to hold water. On 2 counts. 2? Oh, you know what? I'm starting to think maybe the reason he's pushing so hard for this is because maybe he knows that Odie Asman was the professor, and like he's like, oh, this is justice, right? Oh, hello, Randall. Thanks for dropping by. 2. Firstly, before and after the experiment, the witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of staff from the exhibition has attested to that.
And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment.
In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages. Okay.
Objection!
But I've already explained why he wouldn't have needed to. The nonsense with the crossbow, that doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. No, it's wax! It's a fucking waxwork model! The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point. Yeah, and she's also in on it. You need to understand it goes all the way to the government's top, Van Zeeks. I'm like 1,000% sure that Strongheart is a bad guy, or maybe a victim. I still haven't, gotten the vibe yet. He might be the Damon Gant of this game, or he might be, it might be posturing and he gets like stabbed in the final case. Who knows? And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. Because he's the fucking professor. A motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? What happened to just proving, plausible deniability that my client maybe didn't do it, huh? Kazuma, stop helping him, please. I have here a contract provided by the witness.
What contract is this, Lord Van Zeeks?
The contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Asman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income.
30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions.
But there was one very important provision bolted onto that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. Huh. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Osmond's death. The diametric opposite, in fact. Ugh. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. I mean, again, motive does not discount, you know, possibility, though. Ugh! Look at this fucking dude.
It seems the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark.
Nuh-uh.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please.
Well, contracts, it's true. Hold on. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage with the one in the Crystal Tower. Fucking forensics, bro!
Forensics was in on it.
Investor Mr. Odiasman hereby enters into contract with the provider Mr. Enoch Drebber to fund labor and materials for the construction of the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. E. Drebber. Asman. Sussy. He couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been.
There is one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. There were 2 bird cages. The prosecution is unable to deny that.
Ah.
So I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruto. You just need a little course correcting, much like Mr. Shones. You know, but less stupid. And I've no doubt that there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths, too.
Well, it would seem.
Forensics wasn't a thing in the early 1900s. Technology for it didn't exist yet. Oh, well, in this game, it did. Like, it's new in this. You know? Like, Courtney Sith is, like, the head of the forensics investigation team. I'm saying that forensics was in on it. Like, her team, like, she's, I think, the killer. Like, I think she and him were, like, in on it together, you know? Wait, what was the...
Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer.
Fuck is a rejoinder? Like a counter? Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. What fucking reputation, bitch? You admit that you just take contracts for money. Like, I mean, I guess most people do. Whatever. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit.
Objection!
Nuh-uh! At the beginning of this trial, we believed that there was only one birdcage. Yet now we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. Yeah, I think the reason Van Zieks is like pushing for this is because he knows Odiasman was the professor, right? Which I'm still not like 100% on. Like, I'm not 100% that he's that guy. But if he is and Van Zieks knows that, then he could be like, oh, this guy killed my brother, this was justified. But like, I don't know. Would he sacrifice the integrity of the truth for that, though? Is the question, you know? The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, hitherto, ergo, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved. Like forensics!
Someone else, Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
An accomplice now? Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come? Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. You know what? Fuck it. I literally couldn't do any lawyering for the past half a year. I'm all in, bro.
Well, Counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter?
What do I do here? At the moment, this is little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice or even if he really is the culprit here. No, I'm like 1,000% certain it's fucking Courtney. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear. As a lawyer. So what's my stance gonna be? Did Drebber have an accomplice or not? I'm gonna name it. It's fucking Courtney! The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But what if the coroner's lying? But that inconsistency itself is a clue.
Counsel,
My lord.
you've received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice?
Courtney, that fucking bitch!
Take that!
The name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? I'm just extending it for drama, you fucking theater kid. I feel like I would hope that you would understand, of all people. Bitch. Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that. No, my throat's just a little dry because I know that Kazuma's in the room with me. But you know, he doesn't remember me. Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me.
I'm sure it will be all right, Mr. Naruto.
Thank you, Mrs. Otto.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Counsel, now. person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Sith.
What? What the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Sith? But she's so hot!
The head of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim? Yeah. That's what I said. Are you deaf? We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. And then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It could only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Sith be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify.
Oh my god, who the fuck is that?
Holy shit.
I like corn.
You've got a nerve, lad! Standing up there, dragging the yard's name through the mud.
Are you actually a Scotland Yard? I thought you were just like, I don't know, cosplaying. I didn't mean to...
I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. Honestly, she seems a little sick in the head. How dare you call her a criminal?
My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. Oh, the East End at night. Whew, spicy. That's when the spicy Broadway... Sorry, not Broadway. Oh no, is that West End? Never mind. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem? Call me a gravedigger, then.
Oh my word.
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? A fucking waxwork model? Dadoy! What?
Certainly, if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must also have contained a body.
And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one dead or alive who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Asman. Ugh, that's true. If my argument is that there were 2 bird cages, then there must also have been one person inside each. But I don't know if I've got an answer to this yet, have I? Yes, we do! It's a fucking wax model!
Can we fucking... Please, I need Edgeworth's logic.
Like, logic and reasoning, not so spectacular, kind of just common sense. Can we talk about it? What can I do to reveal how the body double stunt was achieved? Present evidence. I've got the fucking glass. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Asman's body double.
Good gracious, evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name.
Filibustering is like my favorite law, like, jargon word. It's such a funny fucking word. Filibustering. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses who would only have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of the explosion some 18 meters above the spectators?
A fucking wax model.
Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was... Do I say this? Hold on. Cheeky little save. I thought I was presenting the glass, but the phrasing of this makes me assume we are saying, like, this.
Take that!
We know that the victim, Mr. Asman, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage. And therefore, he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the Crystal Tower. Oh, you know what? Hold on now. No, but how did the fucking screwdriver... Because I was about to say, like if he dropped below... If he dropped below to, like, below the stage, Drebber could have gone there, stabbed him with the screwdriver. But, like, how did he, like, leave that screwdriver at the scene is the thing. Like... Like he chucked it up there some fucking 30 feet?
Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events.
And that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact...
It's alright, Mr. Naruto. You're ready for this. Just seal yourself and come out with it.
Oh god. Coming out so hard. I haven't felt like this since I came out of the wardrobe. Thank you, Mr. Sato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was... As unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there... Oh, we have it here in the courtroom. I see. That's so interesting.
Objection!
He's like, fuck are you talking about? Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponiese friend. Hey, that's kind of racist. You can't say that. Oh, I literally was closing my eyes. Never mind. Now tell me. What are you playing at? Are you fucking dumb? Stand firm now, Rinosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit! As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. Oh, fuck. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicating the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you've moved on to indicting waxworks? That's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it can hardly resemble him less. You just dress him up different, take the fucking helmet off. It's the same face. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. How's your nightmare before Christmas going? You know, it's pretty Christmas casual. It's almost Christmas, but that means it's not Christmas. See, Drebber's worked up. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's.
Did you say abducted?
And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then the timing.
Is this true, Mr. Drebber?
At first I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now, the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Asman. God. Again, what are they called? Fucking gyroids? It's not Final... No, like, gyroids are the things in Animal Crossing. What the fuck are those cactus bitches in Final Fantasy? I've only played like one Final Fantasy, and I never finished it. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? This guy seems like he likes to do a robot dance. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, you should see his other animation. He does straight up the wave with his arms. That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking magician. And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection! I think it's fucking bullshit.
Oh, fuck. Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord, what?
My lord, I need to speak if you please.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement.
God damn it.
Not this fucking shit again.
Very
good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty.
Fucking
Guilty.
shit.
Guilty.
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 Guilty! Guilty!
Kill me.
Guilty.
Guilty!
She used the corn. That's crazy. Guys, nothing has indicated that my client's actually guilty. You just don't like me.
So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus.
Ugh, I knew that was gonna happen.
We shall get through this, Mr. Narada, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds.
The defense will now embark on the summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman?
We are, my lord.
Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is charged.
And then they're gonna say some shit that's completely unrelated. Like, I don't like the defense lawyer's face.
I've known that woman for years. She'd never been accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think that those two would ever be conniving with one another.
Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it?
I've had my own problems with with members of the police. I do not trust them much. Okay, so you agree. Why the fuck did you vote guilty, dickhead?
I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture.
Oh shit. Hold on. Oh fuck. Hold on. What the fuck? Okay. Jesus. Like, I was worried. My Firefox, my tab that I kept chat in, just like crashed all of a sudden. I was so concerned. Okay, we're good. We're back. I hope. I don't think I've dropped any frames. I think stream's fine. Lemon. Okay, here we go.
I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture.
Accusing someone without prior evidences? He's not a proper job, is he? I won't have it.
What you doing, corn girl?
Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion.
Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim. can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it was Mr. Asmon's body double. I don't know, it seems pretty fucking same buildy to me. You just gotta put his clothes on him. Also, everyone saw it from 60 feet away, dude. Yeah, the applause is deafening. And yes, I know it seems extraordinary. But that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto?
I'm thinking some fucking bullshit straight out of my ass.
Lemon.
I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used. Why it had to be this model.
Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean?
Yes, and I'm convinced. Maybe it's because he is the professor. Oh my god. It's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim.
Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Yeah, agreed. I have to find a way out of this.
If you are ready, Counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination.
I like how we don't have to ask for it anymore. Like, yes, my lord.
Lemon.
Look at that dude in the background. Rebut.
I've known that woman for years. She'd never been accomplice to anything. Fuck that bitch.
Hold it!
The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason.
I'm a copper, lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes when needs must. What's wrong with that?
Where do I start? You still have to follow the law, sir.
I've been working at the yard for 40-odd years.
That's even more than I thought.
We've only had a metropolitan police service in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust coppers back when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime. We had to fight to win the public's trust as well, and when we did, forensic science was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution.
Dr. Sith, you mean?
That's right. About 10 years ago now it was, when I was still youngish Bobby on the beat.
Youngish? Dude, you look like you're 90.
That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. By just, like, lying about shit. And now look at her, head of the forensic investigation team. And a woman, no less. My god, women. Can you believe? They can, like, read now? Well, you won't hear me complain. It's what we all dreamt of back then, I tell you.
90, he surpassed triple digits a long time ago. My god, the tenacity of our police force. Oh, fuck. Could you tell me without holding that gun in the air? Why are people allowed to just take weapons in here? I mean, I guess I have a sword. I can't be talking.
We were all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of vim we were, full of vim.
That's coming across loud and clear. Utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another.
Hold it!
But we're only just starting to understand this case. He's reading the newspaper. What are you reading there, sir?
The man behind those murders
on Solar Pond Street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for you.
That's really not relevant to this case, is it?
You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Sith in charge of examining the bodies. And it was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible.
Oh.
That's right, oh. That woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of old tosh.
I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around.
Oh dear.
The waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? I can straight up, like, present evidence that proves this wrong, but whatever. Why would you assume that?
Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship to the woman, does he?
I think he is her daughter's, like, father. True. As it stands, we don't know anything of any. We don't know of any connection.
Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxwork.
Romantic?
A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know.
Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to.
One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman.
Huh.
Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there.
Oh. Oh. Wait. Is she shipping them? She's shipping Hairbrain and and Van Zeeks? You know what? Girly, I can get behind it. This woman may be more astute than I've been giving her credit for. My god, they are fucking! My god, a foo girl! A fujoshi!
If that's the woman's stance, and perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Sith would be enough.
Yeah, I agree. As soon as we have even a whiff of connection, she'll be the first to know.
I've had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them much.
Hold it!
What sort of problems?
Well, I get arrested pretty much fucking every day for scamming people on the street. Anyways, let's just say we've run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street.
Oh, I didn't even realize he actually talked about the street. Right, I see.
Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like. But the police use any excuse to make our lives difficult.
Excuse me.
You got a problem with him, sir? Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole?
Who are you calling a mass murderer?
What? Sorry, my mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him.
I don't look anything like the man. You want to be locked up, sonny?
Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. Can you stop spinning your gun like that? I know there's no fucking safety on that thing. And clearly you do.
Back in my day, back in the good old days. Oh, we should have another war. It wasn't like this.
What was it like, sir?
We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it.
By Apollo's father? Holy shit.
People respected us back then.
Respected you.
No one would have called a coroner into question in them days. A coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name... Oh!
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name to it. She was the best of the best and the apple of...
Hold on a minute. He was referring to Apollo the Roman god, not Apollo Justice. Yeah, probably. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens?
Sorry, got a bit carried away there.
Stevens is Dr. Sid's maiden name. Her maiden name, so that was before she was married.
Of course, yes. Silly me. It's Sith now, isn't it?
Stevens. Sure have seen that name somewhere recently. Yeah, in the fucking autopsy report! Literally right here.
Anyway, the point is, those were the great days of policing. Not like now.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name?
Well, yes, I don't see why not. She was Courtney Stevens back when I knew her, of course, a legendary coroner even then.
Objection!
Boop. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious, to whose statements do you refer, counsel?
So, juror number 2.
Oh, gosh. Me? What can I do for you?
I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light that the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Sith, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before.
Well, naturally. As a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible.
Ah, yes, as a woman of society. A fujoshi. And, you know, a general romance manga expert.
But, oh golly, I'm afraid I failed to see what you mean.
Dr. Sith's maiden name is Stevens. And through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it.
My goodness. Evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling.
Counsel, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim.
Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that clearly links Dr. Sith to the mass murderer known as the Professor.
Take that!
Bonk. I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago.
A 10-year-old autopsy report? Have you updated it, man? What relevance does that have?
It is, of course, the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor.
The Professors? But the man was a capital offender, so...
That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is that the name of the coroner who wrote it is Courtney Stevens.
Oh my. Courtney Stevens.
Strike a light!
It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Sith 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork from the professor of Madame Tuspel's. From Madame Tuspel's. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all. I mean...
And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Unsavory relationships are good too. I love toxic yaoi.
Absolutely, I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover. Between Drs. Courtney Sith and Mr. Enoch Drebber.
God. I am so fucking invested in this case now. Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. Oh, how fucking saucy. This is almost extraordinary. We're surely obliged now to explore this further.
Quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Now, well, there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best coroner. It wasn't like this back in my day, but we're still here to uphold justice in the end.
So you get it. You get it. We're here to uphold Apollo justice. Juror number 2 now wants to please herself. Oh, trust me, she's plenty pleased already.
It's the professor. That's what links that frightful swindler and the coroner.
If the yard coroner's under suspicion, then we're not done here yet, are we? Clearly.
Okay, I pressed this already. No rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage is conjecture. Again, I can straight up just disprove this, but alright. But you claim the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick.
That I did. But there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there?
Sorry?
I grant you, given that this cage appeared from amidst an explosion, there'd have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could at least have had the decency to make it look like the victim.
I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency.
The point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's just not science.
I suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. But that perhaps means his mind could be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence.
Evidence that the Professor waxwork was inside that birdcage. Can I produce that or not? Yeah. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir.
Oh. I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here.
That's racist. So you don't trust anyone in black? Looking in the mirror must be very trying. I do have some evidence that proves the waxwork was inside that birdcage, namely the glass.
Take that!
What's that? A piece of glass? It's unusually thick for glass.
Yes, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass, though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower.
The Crystal Tower? Holy smoke! Egads!
Exactly, the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass.
From whence this small piece originated, is that it?
Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you.
Fine, fuck you. Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it. In light of what you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter.
In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now, please.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Presence of that piece of glass leaves me in little doubt that the waxwork was indeed inside that bird cage.
Leaves me in little doubt that the waxwork is indeed inside that birdcage. Is it with the corn girl? Is corn girl even an adult? She looks like she's 6.
Objection!
There we go. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Oh, good gracious, to whose statements do you refer, counsel?
If you could put down your corn for a moment, juror number 5.
Now fuck you! Oh, you mean me? corn just makes you youthful. That's the secret. Eternal youth, eternal corn. You've pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence. But the accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the jurors sitting beside you.
I mean, I guess. Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument?
I don't understand much besides, Colonel Cobb, to be honest.
Colonel Cobb? Of course you don't.
If I can interject here.
Please do, sir.
Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me as a man of science not to pursue the matter further.
Bonk. Okay, but are you gonna change it, corn girl?
Oh, well, me too then.
Sorry?
If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. Hey, I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb, or anyone who's got stuff in between the ears.
What? Bonk. Thanks, I guess? I guess corn makes you youthful, but also stupid. Success, if you can call it that.
Thank you, counsel. That will do. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty against 4 who call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time, and the trial must continue.
Oh, we did it! Ah, somehow.
Oh, well done, Mr. Narado. Another wonderful victory.
Hey, call a recess so I can end the episode. The stupidity comes from the arsenic and the insecticide. Yeah, probably. It kills bugs, but it also kills brain cells.
A waxwork of the despicable professor, used as a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it would appear that it does at least warrant further investigation.
It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Drebber and Dr. Sith. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link.
I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't.
I'm just trying to, show the truth, sir. We're doing the same job, enacting justice, man.
The truth, sir, by using evidence and testimony.
If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, then the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness. Oh, I thought we were gonna call Courtney. Whatever. It comes from Miss Winslow's soothing syrup they'd feed to the babies. Look it up after stream. Sure.
The owner.
Madame Tuspels. I really thought that Lord Van Zeeks would object to this whole line of inquiry. Nah. He also wants his friend freed, man. It's just that, justice? I don't know.
Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Tuspels to appear as witness with immediate effect.
Listen carefully, my learned friend. Oh, yeah. You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. That's okay. I need to unlock your secret tragic hidden backstory anyway. I mean, we kinda already did, but only a little bit of it.
The court shall now adjourn for 45 minutes. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand.
Madame Tuspels, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. The stupidity comes from the cocaine and the Coca-Cola. Hey, listen. Oh my god, an actual to be continued? I was ready to, like, pause in the middle. Okay. I'll fucking take it. Yeah. I was ready to pause in the middle. That's real convenient. Cool. Okay. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I'll finish this case next time. Don't save. I already saved. Return. Okay. Well. Merry almost Christmas, everybody. It's not Christmas yet, but it will be soon. So, you know, I hope you all have a nice Christmas. I will be taking tomorrow off, as I usually do with Wednesdays. But, see you all then. Bye-bye!